everyone, welcome back to my little corner. If it's your first time here, a welcome to you. It's so lovely to be sharing a little bit of time and a little bit of space with you in this crazy old world that seems to be getting more and more sort of challenging in lots of different ways, doesn't it? There's loads of stuff going on and some really difficult stuff, and my heart goes out to everybody who's really doing hard things at the moment and being very, very challenged. And I just send lots of love out into the world. That was my very first thing I did when I first started doing little videos, and it's a long time ago now. If you don't know me, my name is Emma, and I'm an artist. I was going to say textile artist, but that's my old me. I am an artist and I work here in Cumbria. I live and I play here in a beautiful part of the UK called the Lake District. If you've never been, it's absolutely stunning and I'm very blessed to live here. So when I first started off, I did a little video on my camera. It was when a certain event was taking place in the world and it was rather large, and I just felt moved to say something, just to say hello. I wanted to connect with people and just say hello, and that's all I did. Was I just said, well, I don't know what's going on and I know you don't know what's going on either. So it kind of feels a bit like that now as well, except that for me personally, things have moved on, things have shifted, and things are just constantly changing, and it's kind of really exciting. I'm very kind of thrilled to be where I am. I can see the differences in what I'm doing and who I'm being, but it's kind of staying on the surfboard, isn't it, while we're sort of navigating the changes and the waves of change which are just sweeping us along. And I don't know if you're feeling that, but that's what I am feeling, I have to say. And I am stopping to breathe. I have lots of tools that I've developed over the years from all sorts of sources and resources. Yoga has been a big part of my life, and I have used the breathing techniques in yoga many times when I've had difficult things going on. But I also now have other tools that I use, and just stopping. Sometimes if you just stop. For example, I had somebody texting me earlier just as I was about to start filming, and I immediately felt sort of under pressure and under stress to reply to him straight away and give him an answer, and because it's somebody I actually want to come and he's coming to do work for us. And I just thought, no, wait a minute, I'm not ready to do that. I don't know when I want him to come. I felt pressured. So I just basically stepped away and I went off and did other things. In fact, I set up my camera for filming, which is always quite interesting because I seem to get it different every time. I really should put some marks on the floor to put where my camera goes each time, and then I wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel every week. On the other hand, it makes me a bit more creative because I do different things each week, and I see how that goes. So anyway, what I did was, as I say, I just stepped away, I stopped, I kind of interrupted the flow. When there's things coming at you, especially with the internet and mobile phones, everything's kind of feels very immediate, doesn't it? It feels very instant, as though you've got to... And I thought, no, actually the whole beauty of a mobile phone, if you like, or an email is you don't have to give somebody an immediate answer. You can step back and say, when would it suit me to do that thing? He's offering very kindly to come. When would I like him to come? So once I'd calmed down and got back into a place where I could just be gentle and quiet with that answer, I gave him an answer. And he's coming not that far off now, but he's coming when I want him to come, rather than feeling... And he wasn't being pressured at all. It wasn't him, it was me feeling that pressure. And I think that's a thing, isn't it? When something kind of triggers you and you kind of go into fight or flight response, even if it's something quite trivial, I find these days, I have to stop and breathe and go, And sometimes I actually go outside. I go out and I just go in the garden for a bit, and I find that nature frequency, if you like, calms everything down for me, which is just great. So anyway, that's a long... Sorry, that's not really what I was going to talk about today. I don't know what I am talking about, except that I've had a really good week. And I loved your comments, those who left comments last week. It was a really good conversation. I'm so excited to think that you are also getting into new places and setting up places for you to be creative. And I'm thinking about you all doing what you're doing. I'd love to see, I'd love to meet up with you. Wouldn't it be fun? But in the meantime, here we are. and I'm thinking about what you're doing and what I'm doing, and how it's all about allowing ourselves time to be ourselves, time to be creative, pleasing ourselves, a bit like, you know, saying to this chap, I'm going to ask you to come when I'm ready for you, not when, you know, I'm feeling pressured into saying yes to something. The old me, I think, would have said, oh, you better come now, you better come now. Oh, I would have thought, you know, and now I'm just, actually, no, later would do. Later will do fine. So, yeah, it's been a really lovely week. I have been immensely creative. I've got so many interesting things going on at the moment. I've got work that I'm making for our little exhibition that we have every year in the group. I'm in a group of textile artists, and we do all sorts of different mediums. Anyway, make things in lots of different ways, and we do a little summer exhibition each year. Part of that is we do a Meet the Makers chance, so people can come in and see us actually creating and making things. But I've also just been trying to do things differently. Having my table set up has been an absolute boon. I can literally sit for 5 minutes and start sketching something, start drawing something. I'm keeping some things out on the table. But actually, funnily enough, it's also got me back down to doing things on the kitchen table. So last night I put something on to listen to, like a thing on the YouTube channel I wanted to listen to. And I just did some more drawing, I did some sketching. And that was just great. I just made myself another little sketchbook and put that together with some crayons, and then I just sat and did drawing on the kitchen table. During the incident that got me filming in the first place, I had a sketchbook in the kitchen, and every day I would just draw what was around me, and I found that really a lovely way to start the day. So I'd have my breakfast and then do a drawing, and that was like taking a breath, I suppose, before I faced what I needed to be doing in the day. It was a bit of time out and a bit of time to focus on something, and I tell you, it's really improved my drawing. I've really kind of stepped into my own way of drawing, if you like. I know you can watch a lot of people do drawing, but the whole thing about art and creativity is it's yours, isn't it? It's what comes from you. And I think for a long time I thought I had to draw like other people, or I would see other people doing art in a particular way and think, oh, I should be like that. And more I'm stepping into going, well, actually no, I do it like this. It's, you know, and that's fine. And as long as I don't go looking at other people's stuff, I'm okay. I'm safe. So I was going to show you, I did two things. Well, one is, I'll show you this. This is a really quick sketch. Oh, sorry, I'm just dropping things on the floor here. Hang on just a minute. I'll hold that up for you to look at while I grovel on the floor. So this is really nothing, something and nothing. It's a piece of A4 paper. I had some shells. I had some soluble crayons. And I just made myself draw big. And I made myself draw in colour. And that's kind of, I'm kind of challenging myself. So I can do little pencil sketches, which I really love doing, but I also love doing that. And when I was at my friend's the other week, and I said I've been drawing with my friends, and we sort of get together about once a month, and we just have a good chat, of course, and a cup of tea, but also we do a bit of drawing together. And her drawing is stunning. It's beautiful. It's exquisite. I love it. And I used to think, oh, I wish that was me, but now I don't anymore, because I know that's her way of expressing herself, and it is wonderful and beautiful, but it's not me. And I can't do what she does. That's the thing, isn't it? You can't do what other people do. So if I show you this, I might just, it's nothing in particular, but it's what she put on the table for us to draw. Oops. Sorry, I'm doing this very badly. She put this up on the drawer, but what I hope you might take away from it is, these are not the colours that were of the things necessarily, but I just chose to use the materials I had to hand. I chose to not think about it, and I chose to simply draw. And actually I was drawing with my left hand. I was drawing with my non-dominant hand. And you get really lovely marks if you draw with your non-dominant hand. You get really interesting marks, and I'm sure quite a lot of you will know about doing this. And again, it's stepping out of sort of the control freakery that we've had around art and making, and in fact about life, really, isn't it? Stepping out of control. I'm not in control of anything, really, and I'm realising this more and more. Let's put this back here. But what I am, for want of a better term, in control of is kind of my response to things, how I respond to things. So like the gentleman texting me, and the initial response is, oh, and then it went, no, just a minute, let's stop here, let's slow down. And I think going slow, I'm very much all about going slow. I go slowly in my day. If I'm cooking, I do it fairly slowly. I do dance, and I do fun things, and I do fast things when I go out on my bicycle, you know, things like that. I can do things fast if I need to. If there was a fire in the corner of the room, I would get out pretty fast. But it's more like an attitude, isn't it? I find, I don't know if you're finding this, but if you go slowly and you stop and you breathe, so I'm going to do that now then, that just comes. It kind of interrupts the head that's going, oh, oh. And I think drawing is, for me, is very much part of that. So I'm really delighted that some of you are setting up places to draw. Some of you are joining me on this journey of allowing yourself time to do what is right for you. And drawing, it's not for everybody, but drawing is so many different things, isn't it? It doesn't have to be something that looks meticulously like what you're looking at. It's about just making marks on the paper and expressing yourself and having some fun. Is my new way. So I'm using colours. So the other thing I did was I just wrote a little list. I was listening to this YouTube lady. I don't know if you can see that. And I don't know whether that will be backwards. If it's backwards, sorry. It says the words she was coming up with were abundance, love, joy, creativity, choice, vision, and freedom. And I just thought, oh, they're lovely words. I'm going to write them down. So I'm going to pin them up somewhere and have them to inspire me. So really, I'm not sure what I've talked about this time. I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and obviously words just come. Sometimes I just sit here and I let the words come, because that's how life is. And if I had you sitting across my table in the kitchen, we were having a cup of tea, you know, you'd be saying something to me and I'd be saying something back. And I hope it's a bit of a one-sided conversation, but I'm sure you get what I'm on about, and I know for a fact that many of you out there will be on the same page as me on a lot of this stuff. So I'm going to end with the much awaited, long awaited film premiere of me setting up my table to do some drawing, and I hope you'll enjoy that, and I hope you'll have a very creative week, whatever you're doing, a slow week, a gentle week, a week that's all about you, and then you'll have lots to give to the world. And I will see you again in my funny little corner very soon. Bye for now.